It's starting now.
Yeah.
Oh, good afternoon and welcome to Fireside Chat numero 42 with our special guest,
So you're gonna say that in
Shoe0nHead,
Spanish.
numero 42.
There you go.
With our special guest, Shoe0nHead. Shoe0n, you're not Hispanic by any chance, are you?
No, I'm Italian and Irish.
Okay, all right. I was just
People
wondering.
think I'm like Puerto Rican sometimes.
Yeah,
but
no. Well, being from New York, everybody assumes that New Yorkers that have black hair, and they talk like really, street, or they can sometimes, they assume they're Puerto Rican, like, and I can usually spot a Puerto Rican pretty quick. Like when I first saw Chris Reagan, I was like, that guy's Puerto Rican. And then he eventually said, that he was, and I was like, I knew it. Because he looks like a cousin of mine.
He's such a white guy.
He looks pretty.
You sense it. You sense.
I have a Puerto Rican.
You can smell the Puerto Rican blood.
I can smell the shipwrecked Mexicans. I can smell pirate. I know what it looks like when I see it. Anyway, so yeah, welcome to the show, Shu and Allison. And
what? I don't know if you need to welcome me.
Well, you're not always on the Fireside Chats. It's always me, and then a guest, and then some random badger that comes on.
It just sort of pops on.
Yeah.
Nobody says go away because you can't tell us to go away. Then we just stay more.
This morning, Skeptic was like, "Don't you have like that talk show thing with the sugar rabbits or whatever?" I was like, "The
Sugar
honey
rabbits?
badgers, yes."
Sugar rabbits. That's awesome.
The maple muskrats.
Oh, frick. I would be insulted, but that's actually pretty funny.
We were like half asleep, so we were
Oh, I wonder if we could think of other synonyms. The sucralose sugar gliders? No, you can't use sugar again. The sucralose snakes? I guess snakes would be our dire enemy, so we can't really... I don't know why I'm going with sucralose. So.
Because you want to use the word.
Yeah, it's actually an inherently funny word, sucralose.
In America, we would start by calling it the high fructose corn syrup coyotes or something like that. Maybe that's what it... Because we don't have sugar in the States. We make everything out of corn.
Yeah, I've noticed that. If you took corn out of your things that have the food in them, supermarkets.
Because you want to use them.
Yeah. No. Go ahead, Shu. I can hear you speaking.
Oh, no, I didn't say anything. I accidentally played the YouTube video, and it was like echoing.
Oh
yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah.
That's pretty standard. At least one person has to do that. Stream. No, the supermarkets. If you got rid of all the corn in the supermarkets, like the corn-based derivative products, I think you guys would have like fruit and meat.
No, if we got rid of corn, the buildings would collapse. The cars would stop running. Bridges would fall. Planes would crash, like fall from the sky as well. We have corn in everything. We don't just eat it. We're like George Washington Carver
You inject
of corn. It. Yeah, we use it to build our society.
Our maple syrup is corn syrup disguised maple syrup, and to Canadian
lying assholes put a leaf on.
Yeah,
the corn
it's
syrup.
fake. It's fake maple syrup. It's just corn syrup with sugar.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And
that's a sin.
That's like haram in like
illegal.
Canada.
Oh yeah, it is. Well, that's disgusting. Actually, is what it is. You have corn syrup instead of that. Is disgusting. You guys need to fight. That is some government or corporate oppression right there. I think. Although the corn conspiracy, that's the corn interests have taken over way too much if they got your maple syrup. We should create some sort of maple syrup pipeline so that we want to American taste buds can
whatever the equivalent of fracking is for your maple syrup. Frack your trees.
Okay, I think.
All right. So anyway, there's this thing we're supposed to do. It's called.
Oh my god, the chat.
Don't look at the chat. You'll turn to a pillar of salt.
Oh, us. We get off topics like in 2 seconds.
Oh, I know. They're gonna bitch about it so bad. Anyway.
Oh yeah, I can see the
Those are the best kinds of
Oh, so Brian, do you have any questions for get back on topic?
Yeah. Let's okay. So Shu, you've been on the.
Let's do this right.
Yeah,
let's try to do this right.
So
For
Shu, you've been on our show once a long time ago.
Oh God.
And
yeah, can we not talk about that?
Oh no, it was you were multitasking. You were on our stream, and you were also apparently closing your business down for the night as well.
Yeah, I was closing the shop.
It would have been interesting if you got mugged at that point or something.
Oh, it was so bad. I watched it like a few months ago, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know like what I was talking about. Why did they have me on here? I was just like, yeah, guys, feminism is pretty dumb, right? And like, you guys are like going like.
You were so distracted. We could have been like a feminist stream, and you wouldn't have even noticed.
I know, it was really.
Oh man, no, it was fine. It was hilarious. It fits right in because half of our streams are dealing with technical issues. Like I think last night's stream we actually what the hell happened last night?
You dropped out of the stream last night for.
I dropped. Yes, I dropped out of the stream.
Then there was like the one we did earlier in the week where I did, and then but you know what? It's fucking Google, whatever. I mean.
Well, it's not just it's like it's because we don't have like a dedicated server. So, but the upshot of it all is you shouldn't feel bad, Shu. It's people that watch us are used to it. They're used to the fail.
That was like one of my first live streams I was ever on though. So it was a combination of nerves, not knowing what I was talking about yet, and technical difficulties and leaving work. It was like the worst.
Well, the thing I wanted to ask you about is this. So I remember your first video that everyone watched. I mean, I think you had videos before, but the first one you made, which is the one about, it was your first feminist video, or you're, making fun of it, where everybody knows a line, this video game character is dressed too sexily, I don't like it, change it. That's the one, right? And in specifically after you were done with your hilarious rant about that, you said, look guys, I don't want to make feminist videos all the time.
Okay, so
this is like a one-off, and then I'm not going to do any more. I just thought this was funny, and I wanted to make a joke about it.
Years before I came back to YouTube, I just made like stupid vlogs of my life, and it was boring. And then one day I was just like, this is kind of stupid. I hit 1,000 subscribers, I think, and I got really nervous, and I was like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. So I just unlisted all of my old videos. And then 2 years later, after being on Facebook and just being kind of an internet, regressing back to internet normalness of just using Facebook to talk to friends and internet friends and stuff, I started noticing this trend of feminism popping up and social justice, and everyone was on board, and I felt like I was, for lack of a better reference, taking crazy pills. And everyone was like so pro all this stuff, and I'm like, wait, this is like blatantly racist. Like, why are you being racist to white people? Why are you saying that like women can't rape? Just like all this really stupid stuff. And so that all built up, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going back on YouTube to rant on this. But originally that Oppression Olympics was supposed to be a Facebook video. But then I was like, you know what, I'm just going to move it to YouTube. And I did. And then Sargon and Thunderfoot found it, and from there I found Sargon and Thunderfoot and people like that. I was like, oh my god, other people feel the same way I do. This is crazy. And the more I looked into this topic, the more it became not just, wow, this stuff is annoying, but like, wow, this stuff is like destroying society. And I learned more and more about how terrible feminism and social justice was for the world. It's like they put on this show of being like positive and good, and it's really like terrible. It's very see-through, and I discovered that very early. It wasn't just, oh my god, my internet's being ruined. It was just like everything's being ruined, and I should talk about this. So it changed my mind. It wasn't like, I got really interested in it after I found like other things like articles, topics, YouTube channels talking about it. I became more interested, and the more interested I became, the more angry I became at it. Yeah. And it was just like, wow, this is good for rants. This is good. and thus Shoe0nHead became a
A thing?
non-feminist channel. Yeah, I know. So I rolled with it, and I think it's important, especially now that I'm getting a little more popular. I think that it's important to talk about these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just, actually, first of all, so do you have any like specific instances that made you realize, oh shit, this is bigger than just the internet. These people are going to make the world burn. Did you have any?
No, I can't. Everyone always, that's one question people ask me, and it's like I can't pinpoint it. It's just like a whole bunch of things that happened. But even before that, a friend of mine, a friend of a friend actually, we were all hanging out, and she was a social justice warrior, quote, quote, before I knew there was a name for it. I used to just call her a Debbie Downer. And she would constantly try to ride this moral high ground with us. Because me and my friends, we joke around and stuff, and but if we said something even slightly sexist or racist or ableist or whatever, she would call it out, and it was very awkward. Like, you don't want to hang out with people like that where you're clearly joking and they're just like trying to take this moral high ground. Like, for example, my friend screamed in my other friend's ear, and then she went, "Oh man, I'm like half deaf now." And the Debbie Downer went, "That's not funny. My brother's half deaf." And like, she'd do stuff like that, and then we'd later find out that her brother was not half deaf. Like, stuff like that, like these people that slowly drew me into being like, what is happening? But I think one of the instances was on Facebook. Someone told a friend of mine that if she's not a feminist, she's pro-rape. And that blew my mind. Like, just because you don't label yourself as something, you're pro-rape, didn't make any sense to me. So that was another, like, instance where I kind of kept opening my mind to how ridiculous this stuff is. And then also Sargon's This Week in Stupid episodes. That's another thing that made me realize, like, wow, this is a lot deeper than what I thought it was. So I'm still learning every day about how awful it is and how society's crumbling and how we're all going to die. And it's been a great ride.
I have okay, so just to build upon what you were saying, have you ever researched the actual origin of the term feminism?
No, I haven't. I don't think so.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a history, and I'll see what your opinion on all this is. It was actually a Frenchman by the name of Charles Fourier who coined the term feminism. And originally what it meant was basically judging society by how well women were treated in it. So everything revolved around how the status of women, the situation that women were in. And of course, when you have an ideology where that morality is tied to how one group of people is treated, and only that group of people, what happens to everybody else?
Yeah.
And I just find it interesting because that actually, feminists will go off and say, "Oh, there are multiple kinds of feminism. You can't blame, you can't blame feminists for the situations where they're actually eroding men's rights, or you can't blame them for that because there's all kinds of feminists, and we're not responsible for those feminists." And yet, right at the very foundation, feminism from the beginning was about judging society by the benefiting one group of people.
Yeah. To me, I don't see something wrong with having a group fighting for a specific group's rights. Like, you guys are MRAs, you fight for men. WRAs fight for women issues. The thing with feminism is it's more of an ideology. It's like it operates kind of like a religion, kind of like a culty type thing. It tries to have a monopoly on equal rights. It tries to invade everything and say that, oh, feminism did this. Oh, hey guys, like, it tries to take credit for everything. Unlike...
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Unlike people who fight for specific groups.
Yeah, that's, I mean, because the thing is that with feminism, because it has that foundational idea that everything needs to be judged by how it affects women, and you can see that in everything that they do. Everything. There's not the single thing that feminism doesn't do that is informed by this idea that we judge society by how it affects women. But with men's rights activists, and we got into this yesterday when we were talking about feminist labeling versus men's rights activist labeling. It's like we advocate for men's rights, but we're not advocating for a society in which the morality of that society is judged by how it treats men. Yeah. Like in absence of anything else. You don't have to believe that or advocate for that to be a men's rights activist.
Yeah.
You just have to do agitate for men's rights or advocate, and
you just gotta do a men's rights. There you go.
Sorry?
You just gotta do a men's rights.
Yeah, you just have to. Yeah, and I mean, because one of the things is that even though we advocate for men's rights issues and we have like a rough idea of what we want to see in terms of equality, I personally, as a men's rights advocate, would invite, people questioning what we're doing, making sure that we're actually advocating for a sane idea of equality. Yeah. I would never want to see men's rights activism become both a vehicle for advocate for equality for men and saying that we understand or we define what equality is, because I see that's what feminism really has become. They say they are for women's rights, but they also say that they know what equality is.
Well, their narrative changes depending on the subject. Whatever makes them look better is what they go with. They're either, oh, no, we fight for women's rights, you guys. Or it's, hey, no, we care about men too. Like, we fight for men's rights too. If you can't call yourself an egalitarian, just call yourself a feminist. It always changes.
Well, Shu, egalitarianism is a men's rights project. Do you Yeah, so that's a plot that the all-powerful, ever-present MRAs that are in academia and politics and the media have put together and built to distract people from what we really need, which is feminism, which is the plucky underdog that is barely getting by every generation. They just get a little bit better because, it's important stuff, but they have a long way to go.
Yeah. I love how egalitarian is like an insult on every single side. Feminists, it's men's rights activists. MGTOW, it means you're pointless and you're fighting a stupid fight that will never work. Alt-right, it means you're just living in a fantasy world or something. And alt-right think that...
I thought that anything that the alt-right disagrees with you on means that you're a cuck. That's pretty much the default, right? The go-to?
Oh.
No!
Now we're going to get some pissed off alt-right people in the comments. Oh my god.
They think egalitarian means that we believe everyone's equal. That's not true. We want everyone treated equal and have equal opportunities, not that we believe everyone is literally and technically equal.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you're ignoring IQ. It's like, what does that have to do with shit, though? They should still be treated like humans. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, no, I think you just lost us about 300 stubs, but that's okay. There used to be.
I may have done
I'm
that.
joking.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I filtered your audience.
Let me ask you.
Put a good spin on it. You're filtering out the weak blood.
Yeah, that's right. Let me ask you this: what is equality? Have you given that a lot of thought? Like this talk about equality seems to be different. Like what the end game is or what that means is different depending on who you ask and what groups and what circles you're in. But what is it really?
It is different to everybody, which is another problem feminism has when it's like equality. It's like equality, like skeptics said before, is a different idea to everybody. To me, I think it's everyone has the same opportunities in life and everyone is treated equally by the law. I think that's basic.
Yeah.
Just of equality.
Just equality under the law.
Yeah, I don't think people should get special treatment for their fucking skin color or sex or anything like that. I don't think they should get less treatment for it either. I think that everyone should just be treated equally. The end. Everyone should just be best friends and hold hands and skip into the sunset in my perfect world.
Happy people holding hands. Like that. Like an REM video, basically.
Yes.
That's what we should do. Okay.
So I ask, okay, so the question that we posed last night was, why does feminism insist on labeling everyone? And just to give you a little bit of background, as a men's rights activist, I don't give a shit who calls themselves such. I don't have this obsessive need to get everybody to agree with me on being a men's rights activist. And part of the reason I think that I'm like that is because I took on the term as an act of men's rights activism. And the long story short, essentially, when the Southern Poverty Law Center declared men's rights groups to be hate groups, I was on men's rights Reddit, and there were a bunch of men who, up to that point, had experienced that as the only place where they had gotten emotional and mental support. And some of them were talking about committing suicide, one of whom we've never heard from again. And in an act of solidarity with those guys, just because I was feeling so helpless, because I didn't know how to stop this, stop them from expressing these suicidal thoughts and stop the SPLC from doing this shit. Although they later rescinded the label of hate group. I did a video, and it's still on YouTube, in which it might be one of those unlisted cringe videos that I have, though. Like, that I said, you know, this is why I'm going to call myself a men's rights activist from now on, because if they're going to smear you guys, and you guys obviously need this community to be able to feel healthy enough to continue, mentally healthy enough to continue, then they can smear me along with them. And it was just my sort of futile attempt to try to stem the tide of those guys and their depression and their suicidal ideation. So that's why I did it. And I mean, I respect somebody who takes on the label as an act of men's rights activism.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, or even if they're in a situation where, you know, they take on the label in defiance of the media maligning these communities, where there are men who are getting the support they need to, the mental health support they need to continue. I totally respect that. If men's rights activism gets to the point, though, like feminism, where it becomes this vague catch-all with shitty ad hominems to throw at people if you question it, I would run the fuck away from it so fast.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna name names. There is at least one person I know who has said to me in a video, I'm not gonna name names again, but if you believe in equal rights, you're a men's rights activist. Like, quote, feminist thing that they usually say, quote for quote. Which was really stupid, but again, it was only one person ever say that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like, I would never say that to anybody because, like I said, I became a men's rights activist as an act of men's rights activism. If you can't do that, I wouldn't do it.
But
like,
again, I talk about, like, the horseshoe theory a lot, but part of me is like, I don't think it's ideologies that are the same. I think it's just that people act the same a lot. Like,
yeah, exactly.
if a men's rights activist says, if you believe in equality, you're automatically a men's rights activist, that's again some kind of cultish mentality he has. Not necessarily like the whole movement thinks this. This is again like a new kind of thing I've learned over the few years and months. Is sometimes the horseshoe theory is a little bit weak.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is that I think I might know where he's coming from, because if you want to advocate for human rights, you sort of have to advocate for the rights of all humans, really. So it's not that necessarily you have to be a men's rights activist, just that, but you have to actually look at the issues and how they affect men to really be a humanist.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just looking at the issues and how they affect women, sort of like a feminist. And then again, you know, feminists really don't look at the issues entirely how they affect women, because they still create an entire victimhood narrative, which, you know, if you look at it, is in and of itself sort of harmful to women. But so it's more like a feminist advocate for their particular version of what equality is, which seems to change day to day in order to keep feminism itself at the center.
Yeah,
Anyway.
mainly it's about protecting the label of feminist. It's not because they actually are, like, you can find more videos of people saying they're feminists and why it's good to call yourself one, and why you are one even though you don't know it, because you either believe what they believe or you're a bad person. There are more videos like that out there, and more content like that in on the press and everything than there is actual videos that say, here is a problem that is faced by a group of people, and here is a potential solution to said problem.
Well, yeah, I call those damage control videos, and they're like 99% of the feminist content on YouTube.
Yeah.
Is guys, feminism is not about man-hating. Guys, it's not. Hey, guys, it's really not about this. If you believe in equality, you're a feminist. So, the end.
Yeah.
And that's every video. And I actually brought this up in one of my recent videos about how all my videos are starting to look the same because all these videos are the same. They're just these constant, like, again, damage controlling.
Yeah.
Like, hey, guys, don't look over there. Like, this is the real thing. It's like, why don't you do the real thing instead of, like, talking about it? Like, let's see some action.
Or you know, or they'll just be like, and they're always in this, you know, we watched a couple of clips, and I can show you some of them. That's why I have the side tubes queued up, where they all have, like, this same sort of passive-aggressive, not really directly addressing arguments kind of tone where, you know what I mean? Like, where there's this very sort of snarky, like, well, I don't know, like, I guess you just want women to get raped and not be able to wear... okay, I did this one story time with Doge where there was this girl, she was like a cam girl, and she basically said, I'm quitting feminism, right? Now, her video wasn't particularly intelligent. I'm not trying to insult her, sorry. But I'm just saying, she just basically said, you know, I don't like it, it's bullshit, you know, whatever. And I looked in her comments section, and there were tons of women and men that were there saying, you know, you're so stupid, I can't believe you left this ideology. It's literally just equality. And then they'll copy-paste a Wikipedia article. Or, sorry, there's like jets flying overhead. We have an air and water show today. Or they'll be... No, we do. It's the air and water show today.
No, I don't believe you. I believe you're actually in the room rustling some aluminum, like thin aluminum,
yes,
to create that sound.
I actually have a giant saw that I'm going to use to make it sound like there are aliens attacking the city too, when it's convenient for me. But no, but like there were women that were making comments like, if you're not a feminist, then you don't like punk music because punk music bands like Bikini Kill have only been possible because of feminism. Or do you like wearing pants because without feminism you wouldn't be able to wear pants or get tattoos or be a sex worker? Because being a sex worker is newer than feminism is.
Wait, I call this fallacy the grandma fallacy, when they're like, without feminism you wouldn't be able to use the internet. And then like they go, you wouldn't be able to vote, you wouldn't be able to blah blah blah. It's like, okay, well, I'm not critiquing the movement, its goals in yesteryear. I am critiquing what it's doing right now.
Yeah.
And technically, we would be able to vote because the suffrage movement, not the suffragettes, it was the suffrage movement that got women the vote. And it was a general thrust to increase the suffrage to as many people as possible out of the principles of democracy. So they can't take credit for that. But they can take credit for preventing women from being subject to the draft. So there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted, that's your history moment. The more you know. I'll shuffle off stage now.
No, you could stay. But yeah, no, you can't wear pants. You couldn't cut your hair short. You'd be dead and raped. Not necessarily in that order. Yeah, or wear long hair.
A good video topic. I'm gonna write this down. The grandma fallacy.
Yeah, definitely. All of the things that feminism has done. You wouldn't be able to drink clean water without it. Shoe. I'm sorry, you just wouldn't. You know, women were considered literally chattel, like 100 or so years ago, like 100 years ago, a few decades ago. So yeah, we looked at some videos, and basically it's all about, you know, give me a thank you for feminism, otherwise stop voting and make me a ham sandwich. And
the classic, the Jank maneuver.
Yes.
Jank. Did you hear about this, Shoe?
What?
Karen went on the Young Turks. Karen Strong. What's what? Yes. And
a while ago.
I think a while ago. And Jank. It all ended when Jenk was screaming, "Thank me for feminism, so you could vote and make me a fucking ham sandwich." That's how it basically
And
him
yet
yelling.
clearly you want to wear burqas. That was another one. You know,
Why
without
is-
feminism, everybody would have to wear burqas because apparently without feminism, Islam would be global.
Oh,
What?
Onision said that too. Without feminism, we'd all be wearing burqas.
Yeah, but feminism is the driving force against, like, you're telling everyone they're freaking Islamophobic. When we say, yeah, we don't want to stone gay people and have women wear burqas.
Yeah.
This is confusing as fuck. I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut up now.
No, this
I'm gonna
is
chew over that
this
one.
is this is what feminism is doing. Anything that's good that has happened to men and
Well,
women, feminism takes some
people
credit
I
for. Go ahead.
The
Drew, I'm
people
sorry.
Sorry.
No, it seems
When
like there's a little bit of lag.
I think there is.
There's always lag. It's G+. I'm surprised it hasn't dropped someone yet.
The people I see defending the burqa the most are feminists.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is that they should be able, like, Muslim women should be able to wear what they want, sure, but what I see, and that's not really what I see worst. The worst of all of this is this idea that any kind of criticism of the culture is Islamophobia, and it's like, or any kind of criticism of the people who come from the behavior of people who come from a war-torn region is Islamophobia, as opposed to saying, hey, governments, you're failing people by, if you want to import immigrants, making sure that they can acclimatize to the local customs. That's not Islamophobia. That's common fucking sense.
Well, no, Islam is a race apparently, so.
It is
Stop-
totally
no.
a race.
No, and I don't even know how this happened. Like, first of all, if you're going to call it a race, it's the Semitic race, and it includes Jews. How did Jews get displaced as, like, the people that we actually, on the victim hierarchy, as it were? I mean, if any group of people sort of deserves their spot in the victim hierarchy, it would be them, and yet they got displaced by Muslims.
Mhm.
It's bizarre. I guess I just don't understand the behavior of this beast enough.
So
Anyway, yeah, I think I've talked this to a standstill. I apologize.
No. You're fine. Shoo, go ahead. It's the lag, Allison. It's the lag.
They'll blame everything on the lag.
Speaking of bizarre, today I went on everydayfeminism.com
Oh God.
and I saw a title of an article, How White Americans' Hatred of Racism is Supporting Racism Instead of Solving It. And it's like this whole article about how being not racist is actually more racist than being racist.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway.
That I gotta see that.
I'll link it, I'll link it.
Yeah, give me a link. I gotta see the mental gymnastics that goes on with that article.
It's funny, in the article, the first paragraph is, nothing upsets white Americans like calling them racist. It can spark outright indignation, extreme defensiveness, a faucet of tears, and a host of emotions that dwell on our primal selves. They're basically admitting right here their guilt trip recruitment technique.
Mm-hmm.
That is how they recruit people into feminist and social justice, going, you're racist. You don't want to be racist, right? Join us, and then you won't be racist. Fight against racism. They just absolutely admitted it.
And even if you do, you have to do it under the pretense that there is something in your blood that makes you racist, sexist, homophobic, or whatever label they want to throw at you, and that you have to spend your whole life essentially trying to clear yourself of this original sin. This is original sin. That's what that is.
Again, this is similar to a religion.
Yeah.
People use that a lot. It really is. It's very...
Definitely. Social justice is basically a religion. At least this extreme, crazy-ass Francesca Ramsey Lacey Green version of it.
Sectional.
Yes.
The sectional version. It's the sectional feminism. Can be moved into any what is it called? Arrangement.
Yeah,
or layout.
It's like
to
Legos.
accommodate any space. Legos or intersectional couches.
Yeah.
Well, it's their version again of being like, this thing's a feminist issue. Oh, and this thing is too. Black Lives Matter, that's a feminist thing. Gay rights, that's a feminist thing.
Yep.
What?
Islam is a feminist thing.
Okay.
Everything that they can put under the umbrella of oppressed people is a feminist issue, and they always find new ways to like make that work. So,
They don't have issues of their own.
have you talked about the kyriarchy on any of your videos? Do you know what that is?
What?
The kyriarchy. It's the new
No.
patriarchy. So the patriarchy, the patriarchy is not inclusive enough of an enemy, because the patriarchy is what? Men, But the kyriarchy is a more nuanced approach, where basically it's all about how much privilege you have. So the kyriarchy is specifically white, straight, male, heterosexual, cisgendered, Christian, right-wing, conservative, wealthy, able-bodied men. That's basically the most privileged person represents the kyriarchy, and everything else is sort of like offshoots of the kyriarchy. So you got to look it up. It's
So
the
the
intersectional feminist opponent.
It's a huge demigod of
Yeah.
hate.
I guess it's bigger than the patriarchy itself. It's beyond, because the patriarchy hurts men too, but the kyriarchy, it knows no equal. So
I dress up like the patriarchy, and I'm pretty small, so maybe Skeptic can dress up like the hetriarchy. What is it?
Matriarch.
And be the ultimate.
The matriarchy?
No, what is the ultimate one called? Hatred.
Kyriarchy. Kyriarchy. Or whatever.
Kyriarchy. Here, I'll write it for you. Kyriarchy. KY. I don't
Yeah.
even know what that
Oh my
means.
God.
It's like the evolution of the patriarchy.
Yeah, it's like a Pokemon that leveled up. Exactly. It's like
It's like a fucking epicycle in a quasi, pseudoscience theory that needs to repair itself to try to somewhat approximate reality. Well, approximate reality after reality has been wrapped in cotton swatting and had some plaster applied to it and painted like something else.
Pretty sure Bell Hooks was touching herself when she came up with this one. I'm not sure that she did, but I'm thinking that's where it comes from. So
your thoughts are going along those lines.
that's what I'm thinking. I'm sorry, guys. I did not mean to put that thought in your head, but So
It's there. It was
it's
in your
there.
head, and you had
It's
to,
there
had to
now.
share it.
It's we all have the dark recesses of our mind that we have to expose
right, I Googled
to the
it.
world. It's real.
Yeah. Oh no, like you, the twists and turns when you start to fall down the feminist labyrinth. Like they say that academic feminism, like they'll say academic feminism. You can't judge feminism by Tumblr. You got to judge it by academic feminism. It's like academic feminism,
Worse.
like what they publish actually makes Tumblr look sane.
Yeah.
Seriously, I've read some of this shit. In fact, one of the most memorable ones I read was trying to argue that using a woman's sexual desire for you to compel her to have sex was problematic. They weren't going to come right out and say that's rape. Like making a woman have sex by making her desire you was right. They're not going to come out and say it's rape. It's just sort of it's sort of within the spectrum of rape.
So I googled kyriarchy, a social system or set of connecting social systems built around domination, oppression, and submission. It just sounds hot. It sounds hot to me.
It's hot.
The BDSM community should start talking to feminists, because they're sort of shaming them.
Oh wait, no, we did a whole we laughed at this article on Greg's Skeptic's vlog channel. We laughed at this article where some feminist is like, I don't like dominant white males in the BDSM land.
Oh,
And she goes off on how it's bad and how all men should be submissive.
Jesus Christ.
It was really funny. But anyway, yes, kyriarchy, the evolution of patriarchy. That's good to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, be on the lookout.
something
'Cause
new.
Right.
it's going to come up again. Go ahead, Allison.
Okay, well, I just have one last thing. This is actually going back to a previous point. I know you mentioned there was a video where someone was saying you're a men's rights activist if you advocate for men's rights. Well, or you're a men's rights advocate if you advocate for men's rights. I think if we're thinking, you know, if it was Mike and Dr. Randomacam.
Oh no, it's not Mike.
Okay, all right. Well, but the thing is that I think what he's getting at is that men's rights activism is the noun of the verb. So if you advocate for men's rights, or if you advocate for men, then that's what you're. It's essentially a non-starter. It's just a meaningless. It's just basically if someone comes up to you and say you're a men's rights advocate, you're one of those men's rights advocate, while you're advocating for men. Well, yeah, you are, but it's a meaningless term. Like it's not adding anything to the conversation.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what he's trying to get at. And actually, this is also something that I think is a good way to look at the difference between feminism and men's rights activism. Because if at any point in time being a men's rights advocate means anything else but advocating for men, at any time it becomes anything more than nouning the verb, then it's probably become a problem. Because at that point in time, there's some sort of belief expectations that go along with it. It's acquired baggage, in other words.
Yeah.
So it's not just a situation where, you know, people who aren't men's rights activists, it's actually a better way to shut people down when they say, oh, you're not one of those evil men's rights activists. Well, you can say, well, insofar as in this moment I am doing this thing, I am, but that doesn't add anything to the conversation.
Yeah.
So when I cease to do it, I cease to be it, you know?
When I did the charity stream, I was advocating for men's rights.
Yeah. And you were advocating for a specific man. But what I'm saying is that it's also a standard to be held to for the community, in that when men's rights activism means anything more than the specific act, if it starts to mean a particular view of equality or society, then we need to run. Because then it's acquired baggage. And it's baggage it doesn't need. You know?
Sort of on topic. Oh, sorry, no. I know I explained this to Brian in my stream, but I have ADHD, and when I get an idea in my mind, it like bursts out of me, and I just start talking before I forget what I was going to say.
Don't worry, we both have. Me and Brian both have ADHD. We have meetings every morning on weekdays, and it's hilarious because we spend maybe 5 out of 10 out of 60 minutes actually on the same topic at the same time.
Yeah.
We're just like pinging around. Yeah, so it's like I'm surprised we've managed to get this far on the stream and stick on the topic.
No, I think that we did decently well. I want to actually though. Can I show Shu a video? I want to show you guys a video. I think this is
sure, but I'm gonna.
What?
I might take off for a bit just to rest my head because my head hurts.
All right, but this is a funny video. You're gonna like this.
Oh, okay, all right. I'll watch the video with you.
I turned off the wrong thing. Oh, I'll bring them back. I'm back. They're back. Okay.
Okay.
Title
all right.
screen. Okay, so I'm gonna put a video on. So if you have Shu and Allison, you should go to the SciTube. And here we go. This is more feminist damage control, basically. So this is the one clip I didn't get to show yesterday. Let me know if you guys can see this.
I get called.
Oh, I did this video.
I get winged at work. Not in like a really obvious way, but just sometimes people walking by, like instead of just saying hello, it'll be like a little wink because I'm like the little admin sitting at the desk. And
okay, that's just a humorous greeting by your colleagues.
Yeah,
Like,
did you guys see the video I did on this?
Is it the one I need feminism because compliments?
Yes.
Yeah.
This video is like the epitome of the damage control stuff.
Yes, this is.
It offers nothing. It's just I need the feminism because sometimes people do a thing that I don't like, and you need it too. Like what?
This is like one of my one of the things that these people do that annoys me the most is essentially what they're saying is, I need feminism because I'm so hot that nobody can resist me. Can I tell you a story about this one time where I was like super hot and people were paying attention to me, and it made me uncomfortable because they were the wrong people paying attention to me.
well, what I never get is like,
Brian, that's called humble bragging.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah. Feminism is comprised of of damage control and humble bragging.
Yeah, and that's actually another one of my videos, is Humble Brag, the movement. That's what it's called. Because that's what it's like regressing into, or I guess a part of feminism has always been this, I guess, where it's just like, oh my god, people need to stop catcalling me and complimenting my hair. I just hate it. And then the woman is like this very average wallflower looking mom.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, is it the first time you got a compliment and you're I don't get it. Humble bragging.
Well, what I don't get is how this girl goes from, you know, her coworkers giving her like a wink in the morning, which is just probably just a greeting. How does she go from that to they want to have sex with her?
It kind of sounds like
like that wouldn't be the first way I went.
That's
like,
narcissism talking.
No, yeah, it's that would be just, you know, like a wink. To me that would be just a friendly greeting.
Yeah,
I wouldn't immediately go to they want to put their penis or tongue inside me.
It sounds like she's talking about old people. In my experience, lots of old people call me sweetie, and they'll like. Another thing feminists hate is when people tell them to smile, and a lot of old people will like come by my workplace and be like, and I'll be like sitting on the chair, just kind of like looking around. Hey, little sweetie, come on! Like it's always old people who say those kind of like little things like that. Basically, feminism is.
And you didn't run home and blog?
Anti-old people.
Yeah, they're ageist. And you didn't run home and like angrily blog about how this old person told you to smile when you were perfectly satisfied with your RBF?
It's only happened a few times because I don't have resting bitch face. I feel like a lot of these people have resting bitch face, which is why they all get told to smile constantly.
Yeah.
You know, there was this girl at Charles Jr. who was behind the counter. It was last weekend. She looked at me and she said, "Nice eyes." I'm like, oh my god, I think she was going to rape me. Like, just jump over the.
You do have really nice eyes, though.
Oh my fucking god, it's happening again!
Triggered.
Why does everyone want to rape me?
I watched your video, your new video, in like super duper HD, and I'm just staring at your eyes like, these inhumanly eyes. They're so cool. They're like ice blue. Anyway, I'll stop hitting on you and raping you.
Wow.
But...
Okay. It's not rape when a woman does it, Shoe. You're fine. You can carry on. Go on.
But I have to correct you. They're actually green. They're not ice.
Are they?
Yeah.
They're ice green then.
Well, they're sort of they're actually, I don't know how they translate in video, but in reality, they're sort of a yellow green, very light yellow green. So
yeah, mine go from looking brown to yellow to amber to green, depending on the light. It's crazy.
Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome. In my case, like when I go one time, I went to a convention, and these girls came up to me, and I was actually dressed, you know, I actually had makeup on and a proper skirt because I was selling shit. And they're like, "Oh, I love your outfit. Who are you trying to be? Like, what's your?" And I'm like, me. Are those eyes? Are those contacts? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, it was interesting. It's like, no, these are my real eyes. I did not steal them from someone. But yeah, no, I get that a lot, and I don't assume that the people who are telling me that I have nice eyes want to have sex with me. I assume they just like my eyes.
Well, you should probably start, because then you can have a YouTube channel with tons of subscribers. So.
Oh, maybe I should. Like, I should have the
maybe
green
you should
eye.
victimize
tragedy.
yourself more.
Yeah. Like another person told me I have beautiful eyes.
I'm sure that will actually that'll get us tons of respect from our viewers and listeners. Go ahead, Shoe. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna add, I get more compliments from women in real life than I do men. Like, the comments would be like, skin.
Yeah, probably because
skinny, and the fucking creepiest thing will grab my waist or my arms.
Whoa. The men will do that, or the women will do that?
Women.
Oh,
I've never been grabbed by but like, they'll come up and they'll grab my waist and be like, "Oh, girl, eat a cheeseburger."
Jeez.
Like, what the fuck? Don't grab me.
Well, you know why men don't do that is because they don't want to go to prison. So you know, we generally. I mean, you saw what was going on in Nottingham, right? It's a hate crime to essentially catcall a woman
Oh, yeah.
there. So
Yes.
there have been 22 reports, or no, this was as of a couple weeks ago. There were like 22 reports and I think 2 arrests as a result. So, and you know, I don't think it's, and men have been arrested for manspreading. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if one of the reasons why you don't get it very often is because most men are too concerned with the consequences. Or they don't find you attractive.
Only, yeah, probably. But only a few times men have gotten weird with it. Most of the time, they're very sweet, respectable.
Okay.
On my hand, but the women are just like grabby. They're like, "Oh, your arm, you're so tiny, girl." Like, what the hell? Get off of me! But I find that funny how women just think they can grab women. And everyone just expect people to be okay with it.
Well, they don't have they don't have the same. I don't think that the consequences are there, and there's usually not an assumption that people discuss anyway about women being touchy-feely with other women. Like, for example, at conventions, you will see a lot of cosplayers, professional, whatever, and they will talk vehemently about how cosplay is not consent, and you know you can't touch women, you know it's not okay, shit like that, right? And but they'll do it only at men, and they'll also tone police people's dialogue in their you know on their posts and stuff, but only when with what men say. Women in those same posts will say things like, "Oh, girl, the things I would do to you," and they'll like grab each other and they'll, you know, pose pictures together and grab each other's boobs and stuff, and that is totally okay.
Hot.
And yeah, or they're doing it because they think it's hot, right?
I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, it's true. And you know, again, it's like if you're going to have this standard of behavior, but you only apply it to half of, you know, to men, then it's gonna, you know, men are gonna, because I think human beings just have a tendency to look for patterns, they're gonna see that there's like a double standard going on and it's gonna bother them. So, but then they're gonna realize, well, it's probably got more to do with the fact that I'm a man and less to do with the fact that she doesn't want, you know, people to touch her or talk about her costume or whatever. And I think that there is a little bit of, I don't know, like women can get away with more in that because we haven't culturally said that it's not okay. And I don't know that, you know, we should do that. I think that it should just be like on a personal basis. Like if you don't like being touched, then that should be your deal. But it's just not the way that things shake out.
Like grabbed by strangers. That's what it comes down to.
I don't think most people do. It's just that women never really get the memo that that's sort of inappropriate behavior. But do we want to do the videos?
Yeah, let me continue this. I'm gonna try to fix that.
To do with the fact that I'm a girl.
To do with the fact that I'm a girl in the workplace, and we're still like, we can't go for a walk in the workplace, and we're still like.
Wait, there's like.
I'm getting a lot of interference. Okay, do you not have headphones on, Shoe? You don't?
What?
Uh-oh.
You don't have headphones? Maybe.
I got it.
You got it?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Scared something might
There
happen.
we go. That's better.
There's still unrealistic expectations for women to look a certain way that don't exist for men.
What
I think
the
that
fuck, you
I still
bullshit?
can't walk down the street without someone harassing me, but if I walk down the street with my boyfriend, it's totally different because men respect the fact that there's another man by me, but they
Wait,
don't
I have a
respect
few
if I'm
points.
alone.
All right, I'm gonna pause it there for
Go
a
ahead.
second.
All right. So in my video, when I responded to this, I made a point that the woman just is like, these standards for beauty don't kidding. There are standards of beauty that exist for men. And she's like,
Because they don't apply to women, they don't exist somehow. It's
that-
complete moral myopia.
that they kept that in the video because it was so stupid. I feel like even they would be like, all right, that's really dumb. But to make that how men don't approach her or approaching her in the first place is because they're interested in dating her or getting to know her. Why would they approach her if they already see that she has a boyfriend? Doesn't make any sense, this whole thing. It's just,
True.
They're dumb.
and well, yeah, why does she work from the assumption that the only reason, this is like mind reading shit, which feminists are also really good at doing, the only reason that she's not getting the same treatment when she's with her boyfriend is because men, it's not because men respect women that are, you know, that are clearly with someone, or maybe they see, okay, she's got a boyfriend, I'm not going to bother talking to her. It's because they respect men more. They're like, oh, well, that's a man. I don't want to, bros before hoes, you know, I don't want to mess with that.
Bullshit.
No,
why can't they see that as, like, they respect her choice, that she's made a choice, that's the choice she's with. She's made a choice about her love life. And it's an obvious one because it's walking right next to her.
I think they just respect the fact that the person's in a relationship already. And they're like, oh, that's a relationship, so I'm going to go try somewhere else.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
It has nothing to do with more than women.
I mean, I think
it's also, it is literally respecting her choice about her relationship status, which is obvious from the guy walking next to her. If she was walking in a nun's habit, I'm sure that men would not whistle at her or try to make overtures. That's also respecting one of her choices, and it's visible. The difference isn't that men are respecting the other man. They're not. They're respecting the obvious fact that the woman has made a choice to be in a relationship. Whether or not that relationship with is another man or with God, as in a nun, they will respect either. And for feminists to say, no, it's about men respecting each other because they don't respect women, that's bullshit. It's disingenuous, and it's bad faith.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad faith about the men involved. Because if she was publicly and visibly demonstrating her relationship status in any other way, they would respect that as well. And it's her relationship status. Okay, I'm just rant over.
No,
we're fine. Do you want? So you've seen this video, so you know how this is gonna play out. So
it's terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible, and you already talked about it on your channel. Have you seen? Let me see. I want to make this.
But I haven't seen the rest of it.
All right,
I haven't seen all the.
Let's watch a little bit more. Yeah.
Will it kill you to watch the rest?
No, not at all.
Women aren't as visible in the media in like real ways. And
a little bit.
What the fuck are real whales?
No,
real whales.
Real whales? Well, I don't see any in this video, but I'm sure there are tons of other feminist videos where you can find them.
Do some whale spotting. Oh my god, that was awful.
That was awful. That was an ad hom, and it in no way actually reflects a real argument. However, it was very much fun to say.
I like how people confuse ad hom with insult now.
or just.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was just an insult. It wasn't an argument.
No, sir, that was not an ad hominem. It was an insult. Please learn the difference.
Also, not an argument. The insult's not an argument. Your correction of what I said is an argument, and I will take that to heart. So, okay. Well, anyway.
Okay.
Don't get as much credit for movies that they make and books that they write. And
like what? If their name is written in it. Hey, have you guys ever heard of J.K. Rowling? Is that her name? I heard she did a book or 7, and she's kind of famous.
Oh, for fuck's sake! What?
Have you guys ever heard of Danielle Steele?
All right, let me put it this way. You know what feminism is? It's just making... Me and Karen did a bit on a stream a while back, I think with Teal Deer, where I just gave Karen random things, and I was explaining how to get an A in any feminist course ever. Take some random phenomenon, event, thing, and just describe how women are victims of it. So I was just throwing out random things, and Karen was fielding them and explaining how women were victims of them. And I was like, okay, Karen, buttons. How are women victims of buttons? And she did it. She was very, very good at explaining how women are victims of buttons.
That sounds really fun.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. But that's essentially all feminism is you just take something and explain how women are victims of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Once you start talking about things like air conditioning, then there
It's
is no
sexist,
limit.
Brian.
There's no limit that to what you can victimize, like how you can victimize women. There's no limit. You can actually
Men?
victimize men specifically and uniquely in a situation. You could say, oh yeah, you know, like 1,000 boys have been killed in Africa because they didn't want them to get an education. They burned them alive and shot them. And someone will say, well, this is how that hurts women. Could you give me a moment? Let me explain to you how this is worse for women. Let me explain, you know. And now I'm not lying. This will happen. I mean, they will come up with a way in which this hurts women. Actually, I challenge the chat. The Boko Haram example I just gave you. Tell me how that hurts women more. The fact all these men are dead. Or boys. And they'll come up with one super quick. So, but anyway.
Yeah, the chat is pretty on the ball.
Yeah.
And let me give you a bonus question. That'll be a little bit more difficult. Okay, chat. How are snow globes oppressive towards women? There you go. That's your bonus. Boko Haram. That's the easy question. The hard one is how are snow globes oppressive towards women?
They
She was gonna give it a try.
they are round, and testicles are round. But they don't have a shape like a breasts.
Well,
Some
they do.
breasts yeah, like, but those are nice breasts, and see, some women,
Body shaming angle.
yeah,
Good.
it's body shaming.
So
All right,
someone in
well-
the chat said, Doge, do some research on this, please. J.K. Rowling's used that name to avoid being judged as a woman. So now that we know that J.K. Rowling's is a woman, does anyone give a fuck about it? No.
No.
Nobody cares. So
I
she
thought it was
did that
because,
because she felt that maybe she might get judged as a woman. That has nothing to do with anybody else. That was her choice, which was clearly idiotic because her book
No, but I don't even think it
series
was
was
because
a
she thought
massive success.
she would be judged as a woman. I think it's because she wanted to do that whole fantasy J.R.R. Tolkien thing. Did
Kinda like
J.R.R. Tolkien?
George R.R.
Did he?
Martin?
Did he just? Did these men use their initials so they wouldn't be judged as men? No, it's just like a convention. You want to be taken seriously as an author of heroic fantasy. You do that shit.
Someone
Right.
came up with a good thing. The snow globe represents the glass ceiling.
But that's feminist
That's
symbology.
Vernacular
Yeah.
said he had one. He said women need to shake snow globes. That makes their boobs shake and empower the male gaze. Men don't have to.
Oh,
So
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
yeah.
But let's find out from these women how women are oppressed by snow globes.
Okay.
A lot
I'm
of
pretty sure-
situations, it seems like there's one role for a certain type of girl, and sometimes it feels like somehow this room hasn't made space for both of us.
You know, when women are trying to talk, I feel like
there you
a
go.
lot
There
of
you go. The snow globe doesn't make space for the feminist aspirations because it's fixed, you see. Like, I have a Tim Hortons snow globe in my hand right here, and not only does the glass represent a glass ceiling, but the Tim Hortons represent the working class woman and her inability to rise up. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ.
Good try, 10-10.
Well, maybe we need more. We need feminist snow globes that have
Yes, we need
like
feminist
pictures
slow
of
globes.
yeah. We need
Slow globes. That's
slow globes.
maybe they could be sort of slumped so it's not body shaming. You know, like a little bit
Saggy.
saggy slow globe. Yeah. There you go.
Oh god.
That's a feminist issue.
Snow needs globes like fish need bicycles. That was what somebody
Yeah.
said.
Free the snow. No.
Yeah, the snow globes, they trap the snow inside. It's like it's like women. It's oppressing
glacier.
them. Yes.
Yeah.
They can't get out.
The snow globes represent women going only in the space or only able trapped within the space that men allow them.
Tim Horton is a man's name. I'm drinking Tim Hortons coffee right now, actually.
I love
really?
Tim's. I love Tim's.
Where did the hell did you get? Oh wait, you're Canadian, right?
No.
I'm in Canada right now.
Oh, you're in Canada right now. But you know
I'm
what?
in Canada also.
But you know what, though, Allison? I found a Tim's when I drove to the Mixed Up Meetup last week in Ohio. I was like, "There's a Tim's here in Dayton." Oh man, it was glorious. I had the latte, delicious. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, I just have to ask, Snow,
Yeah.
why are you in Canada?
Skeptic lives in Canada.
Oh! So it's sort of like the reverse Canadian girlfriend situation.
Yeah. I have a boyfriend. He lives in Canada. You wouldn't know him.
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
I deal
all
with
right.
the same, but not a boyfriend. Okay, anyway, moving on.
And she doesn't actually exist. She's a stapler.
Yes.
Yeah.
She is my stapler. Okay, I'm going to hit play.
Time they get cut off before they're finished talking, and I don't know if men are more used to doing it to women or if women just don't say anything when they're interrupted a lot of the time, like that they're sort of conditioned to not say like, hey, no, I want to finish what I was saying.
Everybody is connected to this. When feminism started, women were fighting these intense, like,
Wait, everybody is connected. I gotta go back a little bit. What was that?
No, wait. I love the God. This still is one of the stupidest videos I've ever responded to, and I feel kind of bad. I feel bad because it's like you can tell they're just people in like a college studio who are like, let's make a video about feminism, and I just absolutely just shat on their dreams.
Their dreams of suffering.
Like, they're just their dreams of being victims. I was like, no.
Oh, but seriously, you know, me, Shu, and Karen could probably do feminism better than feminists. Because we could develop such elaborate stories of victimhood.
I always say that. No, I even say it in the good way. Like the other day, there was some feminist on Twitter, like, making fun of men being virgins and at the same time complaining that people are calling her a slut for sleeping around. It's like, all right, okay, you're going to sex shame. You're either going to be against sex shaming or you're not going to be against it. Because shaming, quote, quote, I don't like that word, but shaming virgins is still like sex shaming. And I caught myself tweeting about that. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I could be a better feminist than these people. Like, don't, like, talking about shaming and stuff. Like, jeez.
Yeah.
Like, they don't stand by what their little ideology pretends.
No, it's not consistent. It doesn't really seem to be. Because at the same time as they want to reduce women down to victims of every single circumstance, they also say that they are empowering women, and they like strong, independent women. Unless those strong, independent women say, you know what, I was strong and independent enough that I need feminism for nothing.
Yeah, actually, Judge Judy said that. Did you ever see that clip?
I don't think so.
She's like, someone was like, so you're not a feminist? And she was just like, no, I got here without any help from any women's movements or anything. I was just successful on my own. I was never held back. And the host was getting visibly angry.
But the men's, they had to have been standing in Judge Judy's way. They had to, because that's all men do. All we do when we're not on YouTube is we sit around and try to figure out ways to stop women from getting anything done. That's all we do. So how did Judge Judy manage that? Oh.
I don't know.
She must be the strongest and independentest women ever. That must be.
No, she's got internalized misogynies.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
The only successful women in the world who got their success without feminism got it because they sucked patriarchy's cock. They're all a bunch of whores.
Without feminism, she wouldn't even be able to wear pants. So,
oh yeah, she couldn't have, especially not a judge's gown.
And if she was wearing pants and a judge's gown, it's because she sucked patriarchy's cock.
Yeah, that's another great argument that you probably, I don't know if you've made a video about it, how, feminists will say that women who are anti-feminists are only doing it to get male attention. And you've seen that, right? Like there was one, they had a picture of Lauren Southern, I think. They used a picture of Lauren Southern, and they were talking about how Lauren Southern is doing it so she can get dick. Because someone as ugly and repulsive as Lauren Southern needs to adopt an ideology so that she can attract a man, because otherwise men would not even give her the time of day.
I know. It's like, I like how they have to flip everything back to being like about men.
Yes.
This person has opinions because men, and that's bad. Like no matter what, they have to. But yeah, the male attention thing is one of the funniest things. Like, you're only talking about this because male attention. It's like, no, it's because I have opinion, and humans can have opinions. But actually, I don't know if you guys know who Claudia Boylan is. Boylan. She's a feminist on YouTube.
Yep.
And she's actually pretty sweet. She responded to I responded to one of her videos in a video of mine, and she commented, and she was like, "Oh, I really like your videos, and I respect your criticism and stuff." And I told her about like some annoying things feminists do. She's just like, "Yeah, I don't really understand the male attention thing. I think all women can have opinions and it doesn't have to be." I was like, "Oh my God, you're a very sweet person. Why can't more people be like this?" And but she was the only one I ever saw like speak out against telling women that they only feel a certain way because men. It was pretty refreshing, but that's one of my favorite little fallacies that they have, whatever you want to call it, retorts. I think it's like almost mental justification. They're like, "Oh, this person that's the same gender as me feels a different way. They must just have different intentions or something."
Yeah.
It's almost like
their brain must be saturated with the Siemens.
Like comforting themselves almost.
But they're the ones that want to bathe in male tears.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay, I want to get through the rest of the video. Let's continue.
Fighting for these intense, like basic human rights. They wanted to be able to work and get educated. They wanted to be able to vote and things that, you know, like seemed so
Women worked
like,
and were
such
educated
basic
before
rights for-
feminism. They also voted before feminism.
Oh look, grandma fallacy.
This picture of this woman on this horse surrounded by nameless men. It's kind of interesting photo.
You couldn't do this before feminism.
No, you couldn't.
I think it's Lady Godiva or something. Isn't
Women
it?
couldn't eat before feminism. There was no food.
My
Feminism made that
favorite
popular.
one is you wouldn't be able to go on YouTube without feminism. Like, how are you reaching that hard? That is reaching very, very hard.
You wouldn't have access to the internet if it wasn't for feminism.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. You know what? I've soured on this video.
Okay.
Yeah, this video is awful.
It's pretty dumb.
Yeah, it's very dumb.
Just watch my response to it.
Yeah.
I will.
Did you? Okay, so Shoe, have you seen the Matt Binder clip about chattel? Have you seen that before? Okay. I'm gonna show you.
Maybe.
I'm gonna show you. Maybe you have. I love it. It's one of my favorites. So I always watch to get a laugh. 449. I'm going to get to the end.
Yeah, I'll probably have to talk while Brian is doing in the background, because he's basically the technical operative of the channel. Oh, or did you get it?
Oh, no, I got it.
Oh, here it goes. Yeah,
449. It doesn't take long to do this stuff. So tell me if you've seen this one before, and then I'm going to show you the jank one. Okay, so this is Matt Binder. Do you know this face?
Yes.
Do you know this fucking hair.
I've seen this. Yes, I've seen this. Oh my God.
Okay, it's coming.
Okay,
it's coming.
Do they not realize that it was just literally decades ago that women couldn't vote?
Decades.
Apparently not.
Literally just...
You know what really bugs me is people's overuse of the word literally. To not actually be a literal thing.
Maybe 100 or so years ago.
Literally
a
just
few years ago.
decades.
That
decades.
Women were still viewed as chattel.
Chattel.
The property of men.
No. You know what? I'm not even gonna get
Never
into
a
that.
thing. That was never a thing, was it?
No,
Well,
it was
maybe
never
in like
a
ancient Rome.
Oh my god.
Well, let me think. No.
No, it has
never in America.
Allison,
Well,
it was,
aside from actually slavery.
Yeah.
It was just
But men were
decades
also-
ago. It was just decades ago, Allison. Like
But
100
it was
or so
never,
years ago.
It was never a situation of chattel property. No. There was no woman trade. This didn't. I mean, even in Rome, it wasn't that they were the property of their husbands, and that's like 2,000 years ago. It was that their husbands had life or death over them, which was actually sort of horrifying in a way, because there was just a more history moment. There was the cult called the Cult of Cybele, and at some point the Cult of Cybele pissed off the authorities in Rome, and it was mostly a cult. Most of the followers were women and eunuchs, and I think it was actually the ball cutting that pissed off the authorities in Rome. But what happened was the Roman, like the authorities, told the husbands of the women who were in the cult of Cybele that they had to kill them. I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound like a benefit. Well, you know, like, you gotta go kill your wife. Really? Can't we just do a pardon here? Can I spank her really hard?
Literally decades ago.
It's just 100 or so years ago.
That was millennia ago. And the thing is that it wasn't a privilege. It was the authorities go tell you to kill somebody that you probably, you know, the very least you've spent most of your life with, building a life with. That's not a privilege or a benefit.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Sounds like conscription.
Yeah.
That sounds more recent, but didn't affect
I don't mean
women.
to get into the, you know, it's worse for, I mean, it's definitely worse for the woman, but it's not that their husband had, it was the fact that he had to function as an executor of the state's will, even when it came to his wife. And that's, I don't know, like, I don't think that was something that they really enjoyed, judging from how many Roman men remained bachelors. You know, that wasn't a privilege that really enticed them to get married. Mm-hmm. Anyway. Oh yeah, and by the way, you'll have to kill your wife if we deem it so. Oh, okay. Like, what normal human being?
Yeah.
Acting out the state's will to the point of lethality on another human. Anyway, so that's my spiel. That maybe during Roman times, you might have the argument, but after we lost a lot of, or we got rid of a lot of those laws in like the 11th century, no more argument. Not even, you don't even have the remotest shred of an argument that women were chattel. Period. Get over it. Let it go. Stop pushing this modern myth of female victimhood. Yeah. At least in that case. All right. And the more you know. That's been your history minute.
All right. This thing just makes me laugh so hard. He's so serious too.
Literally.
All history stops when it inconveniences them. That's it.
It's yet when a woman who changes her life basically in a relationship. Let's give an example here. A woman who decides to stay home with her husband, and her husband decide that she should stay home, take care of the kids, and he should go work and have a career. And then they end up getting a divorce years down the road because things didn't work out. And because they both decided she should stay home, she doesn't have a career lined up, and the law has the audacity to say that he has to pay her some money every month so she could take care of the kids.
What?
And they have a problem with that.
How did we get on this topic?
That was a jump.
I'm through. Men's rights activists are a scourge.
Well, here's the thing.
Wait, how did he?
What? Wait.
Just see a real thing.
It's like it's like he rubbed out a moral orgasm there. Basking in the afterglow. Well, the thing is that this isn't. Most guys want 50-50 custody. If men pay for the children for the time that they're with them, what is the problem? And women pay for the children for the time they're with them. There you go. That's equality.
Or like how he doesn't even touch upon the fact that women could just take all their shit and get away with it.
No, it's just like if they just so happen that she just didn't work and the whole time she was slaving away at that stove
like,
with those
he has to have
kids.
this very specific example.
Yeah.
That is like very rare in society today.
Yes. And then
like
they get a
oh my god, men's rights just oh my god. Like what the fuck?
Yeah. And then they get a divorce because it didn't work out, and then all she wants is a pittance so she can buy bread and cheese and water. And then men's rights activists want to take that away from her. What? Oh. A pittance, my lord. Okay. Moving on to the next. This is you. So you didn't see the jank video.
But well, actually, you know what? I want to say something.
All right.
Okay, let's imagine this guy's during antebellum South. That's the time when they're in slavery. And those slave rights activists, and I'm not saying that men are slaves. I'm not making the equation. I'm just doing hyperbole for humorous effect.
We're gonna see feminist blog posts everywhere. Allison thinks men are slaves.
Okay.
Well,
so,
they always do that thing where they say MRAs are trying to say that men are the more oppressed class. When most of the time that's not really what this is about, but that's only because they're projecting their own, need
but let me get
to talk about oppression. But go ahead.
Okay, let's imagine he's a Southern belle, with the long dressy locks and And you know, the slaves, they don't want to, they won't even want to give us a pittance. A pittance. They don't want to give us a living. You know, and there were not really wealthy slave owners who relied absolutely on the labor of their slaves to survive. You know, for example, there was a woman who owned a slave who was he had a trade. So he was a skilled trade. I think he might have been a carpenter or a cobbler. And she could not exist without his labor. Like if she didn't have him, she would have been in poverty. Is the argument thus, you know, slavery has to exist because otherwise white people in that situation would only get a pittance, would be in poverty. Like, this is a fucking shitty argument. It doesn't matter if the woman relies on the man for her subsistence. When a contract is over, it is over.
Mm-hmm.
Both parties no longer have responsibility to the other.
12 years in MRA. I like how that's my contribution to the discussion.
Amistad Elam.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
let's get through the rest of this.
Really? Do we have to? Do we have more clips?
For I am only chattel.
Go take a run. Work out. Relax.
What? How is that going to help? Okay, if you give one group of people more rights, you are actually taking away rights from another group. Like, if you do not, oh God, how to explain this?
Well, that's like the people.
Civil society is about equally giving people equal rights and trying to be as equal in enforcing those rights. If you do things like give women the right to charge men with crimes like domestic violence, like rape, child abuse, whatever, and then you take away the burden of proof on those crimes, you are indeed actually taking away men's rights to due process. So, I mean, you can't give women things in a void.
You can't give women things. That's it.
Oh yeah, that's what they're going to pull out.
Without feminism, you wouldn't have things.
Yeah, no things without feminism.
You wouldn't be able to have things. There would be no malls.
No, there.
You wouldn't be able. There would be no capitalism that we can hate.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the jank one. I'm just gonna show bits of it. It's kind of long. You should definitely watch the whole thing. So you can watch Jank and Karen start off as like pretty like reasonable, having a reasonable discussion. Where they start off pretty reasonable, and then Jank just gets, you know, he goes full buffalo by the end. So.
Of course he does.
Where men are being treated unequally, yes, I do. I want to make sure that the pendulum for men's rights movement doesn't swing so far that it becomes radical in the opposite direction. So, like, that's why I'm going to ask one more time on the issue of the right to vote. I mean, you can't just tar feminism with the brush of current day, some small strand of radical feminism. I mean,
just a tiny little radical, like, oh, it's not even worth looking at. Just, you know, really small, not very influential people like Jermaine Greer and Laurie Penny and Anita Sarkeesian
and Mary Koss.
Yeah, you know, they get to speak at the UN and they get to, but they're tiny and like they're just so infinitesimally small. I want to focus on the good part, which is the overwhelming majority of feminism.
No, which is votes for women. Which, yes, thank you, suffragists. Thank you for getting us the vote. I would have preferred, you know, a little bit of moral consistency and conscription along with it, but at least you opened up the conversation. So thank you, suffragists.
I mean,
Fuck you, suffragettes.
Of course. Okay, I'm gonna hit play.
Feminists got women the right to vote. Shouldn't you give an enormous thank you to them? Not just because you're.
Go ahead, Shu.
No, I think that was Karen.
Oh, that was Karen. Okay, it was coming on your end.
Karen's coming in with the actually.
Yeah.
Actually.
Woman, but also because for the sake of humanity, they did a great service to all of us.
Okay.
So anyway, Karen explains it. It's not that, but I'm gonna jump ahead to.
I think she basically just explained what I explained.
Yeah, she explains the thing that you explained.
It wasn't suffragette. It was the general. It was more like the general labor movement and the general suffrage movement that got women the right to vote.
Mhm.
The suffragettes were just assholes and domestic terrorists and also
didn't they blow
racist.
things up and stuff?
Yeah, they did. And if they had been men, they would have been executed for treason, particularly since they blew things up during a war. What during a time when the nation was at war. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know it's because of the culture that they grew up in. Karen, give me a thank you. Look, everything's going great, but you're not being reasonable. You're being ridiculous. Give me a thank you. Give me a thank you for feminists for getting your right to vote. Otherwise, stop voting and go make me a ham sandwich.
What?
Yeah, you telling you.
I'm surprised I've never seen this.
Oh, there's.
Oh my god, that was so funny that like I think I lost the ability to laugh.
And
like,
you should watch the whole thing. But let me go to the last bit where Cenk goes.
Thank Cenk for feminism.
Yes.
Personally thank him.
Praise Cenk. Okay, here's another jet. Hold on.
Oh,
I got
bullshit. You mean you got your freaking.
I have well-trained small doges that are Shibas. They're making this happen. Okay. Now. The last bit.
And Karen, yada, yada, yada. Do you want the right to vote or not? Are you going to give a thank you to the women who fought so hard, sometimes risked their lives to get you that right to vote? Or are you going to just keep saying, oh, well, the women of Saudi Arabia love wearing their burqas, and the women in Britain who, while being oppressed and not having the right to vote, said, yeah, they like bending their neck and telling men that, yes,
so
we shouldn't vote, we're silly little women.
Feminist?
Are you going to give me a thank you for that, or are you just going to keep on blah-blah on that?
Wow, he's mad.
Yeah, because he's losing the argument.
I haven't seen him this mad since he got spit on.
No, it was Alex Jones that got spit on. But I can see how you can get them confused.
No, they. I mean the fight.
Oh yeah,
okay,
right.
I'm going to preface this by saying that nobody has anything against Alex Jones, but Alex Jones and Yank are possibly the most walrus-like individuals on YouTube at the moment.
Although I will say this, if you look up, I was looking up a picture. I want to explain. I was looking up a picture of the meme around the time that this Alex Jones Cenk thing had happened, and so I was looking up photos of Alex Jones and Cenk because I wanted to try to put them together to make a Batman v Superman like parody poster. And I found some pictures of Alex. The guy he used to be pretty fucking swole. I'm just saying. He was a brick house back in the day. Now he's just kind of barrel chested. But Cenk, they're not quite the same. But yeah, I mean they're definitely similar dudes.
So what you're saying is that if you had to put money on a walrus, it would be.
I would put it on Alex in a second because I'm sure that he's got the water filters. He's aware of the chemtrails. He is breaking the conditioning. Okay.
Yeah, and he's not poisoned by the fluorides.
No.
And okay, there you go.
Cenk's skin is like turning shit before our eyes. So
he's not weakened by the fluoride.
Yeah.
Okay, and for anybody, now we've lost another 300 subscribers because we mocked InfoWars. For all of you, I also am suspicious of the fluorides. I'm just.
You know what's funny? Since I've been in Canada, actually, they have chlorine in the water instead of fluoride, and the water is disgusting here. And
oh yeah.
I don't like it, and it's drying out my skin, and it tastes terrible. So I have to buy like bottled water. But the only thing I miss about New York is the water.
There's a trick you can do. You can get a pitcher, put water in the pitcher, and just leave it out. Or you can put it in the fridge, and the chlorine actually evaporates.
Yeah, and then it smells like pool water.
Yeah, for a while, but then it goes away, and it tastes a lot better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or you can get the filters.
I don't know, man. Chicago has...
Skeptic has a filter. Skeptic has a Alex Jones brand filter.
Do you?
No, not really, but it would be cool.
I hear those are the best ones. You should totally get them.
They need to make a chlorine version of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, chlorine is hard to filter out, so usually you do have to sit it. I have a reverse osmosis filter because our water is literally it's almost living. It's got so much minerals and shit in it. It's like a living entity, and it actively hates plumbing. It doesn't want to be contained. It wants to live free and unfettered. So it eats plumbing, like literally fucking eats plumbing, our water here. So we have like a reverse osmosis filter and like a water softener to try to try to tame the water, and that's my rant about the water.
Well,
not about fluoride. Fluoride is bad. Don't drink it.
I have shown you the video, the jank video. You should totally watch the full video, Shoe, so you can get like all the contexts. But yeah, it's good stuff.
Are we done?
Yeah, jank. I mean, I got nothing else to show. One last thing I wanted to say while I'm on the air, because Max Darrett, who's one of our co-hosts, he asked me to do this. Shoe, have you seen the YouTube poops that he's made? We've had he works with Honey Badger Radio sometimes. He helps us write stuff. Well, often. Max, I see you're out there. Love you, man.
Oh yeah.
And he's made YouTube poops. Have you seen them of yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have. I love them. I always share them.
There you go, Max.
Aw.
You now know
there
that
you
she
go.
has seen them. Senpai has noticed you.
Yeah. I watch some of. I'm subscribed to him, so like every now and then I'll see a random video pop up on my feed. I'll just kind of like look at it. I don't really understand some of them. They're like video games and stuff, but yeah, I am subscribing to him.
There you go.
Because he does good YouTube poops.
And now we know that Shoe is a fake gamer girl, confirmed. Okay, so is there anything that I didn't ask that you wanted to say, or any other thoughts that you have?
No, I think that's it.
Okay.
That was an interesting stream.
It was fun.
Very fun.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. This is like one of the few streams that I haven't wanted it to be over and feeling like shooting all the participants.
Yeah. Oh my god.
You feel those feels too. We should have you back sometime, Shoe.
Yeah,
a lot of fun. And maybe I can convince Karen that she doesn't want to drive her kids to Vancouver while you're on.
Do you like responding to videos, because that could be the thing we do, because those are fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I like doing that.
Yeah, you did a really good job. It sounds patronizing. I'm sorry.
You did better than I thought you were gonna do. I mean, normally you suck, but
not shutting down your workplace really assisted in that.
Oh yeah, no. I think I've gotten better at live streams over the years.
Oh yeah.
I was very, very, very nervous when I used to go on them, and I wouldn't really talk a lot. I would just be really shy.
Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. You should, like I said, if you're open to it, we'll have you back on.
Yeah.
Okay, and I just wanted to thank you too. We have started a new initiative with Honey Badger Radio. Honey Badger Brigade is a corporate entity, but I'm in the process of creating something called Honey Badger House, which is what I'm hoping will become a charity foundation for funding initiatives into gender gaps for men's social services. And I would like to thank you, because I think that your stream and what you did for Alien Jack sort of pushed me to finally get off my ass about that.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Well, also my husband suggesting that I don't actually have to run the services myself. We could create a charity foundation instead.
Oh, by the way, one of the best moments in our live stream was when you were really serious about talking about like domestic abuse and stuff, and then your husband came over and was like behind you, and you went to introduce him, but you accidentally smacked him in the face. I thought that was very ironic and beautiful for the stream. So funny. It was so bad. Like, it couldn't have happened in a worse stream for that to happen.
You're not making this better.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this was very fun. Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Yeah, sweet.
Art. Yeah, do we want to end it?
Yeah, let's end it. Do you want to say anything before I do, or just gonna end it?
Do you mind if I shill our fundraiser, Shoe?
Oh no, shill it.
Do you have anything that you want to shill, Shoe?
Yeah, do you have anything you want to shill?
Not really. I think everybody knows my channel and stuff already.
Well,
yeah,
hold on. Don't let your ego run away. You know, we may have fewer subscribers,
knows me.
But we may have
everyone in the world already knows who I am. Who are you bitches? Who are you plebeians? I'm gracing you with my presence.
We may have some subs that you don't have, so I'm just saying.
Yes.
Some people. Yeah. Okay. So there are probably people in the chat saying, "Who is this bitch? And why should I care?"
There always is people like that.
Okay, people are demanding, or they're saying, "Shill Allison." Maybe they're okay. Well, as you guys know, we're putting on a fundraiser for a space, an actual physical space for administration.
Safe space.
Sorry.
A safe space. Yes.
Well, it's near the Mounties, so I guess it'd be fairly safe.
Oh,
So,
that's nice.
yeah, but aside from that, a space, not necessarily a safe space. I mean, 'cause who knows? Maybe the naked mole rats will attempt to take over the basement or something.
I hope it's very unsafe.
Okay, yeah, well, maybe less of us.
Those are the places where I thrive, like the jungle.
Oh, it has. I mean, the office building on top is incidental, but on the bottom there is a very, very dank basement that even has its own cistern. So we would be able to, as badgers, just meme in our dank basement, in our natural habitat, as it were, and that would be good. But the office building on top is incidental. But anyway, so we're putting on a fundraiser to get an actual physical location because the Honey Badger Brigade is become a company that's outgrowing my home, and I'm also trying to convince Brian that he wants to come and live with us.
Where are you guys located?
Saskatchewan.
Oh, that sounds like a very.
It's
very
rural.
Bumblefuck nowhere. Canadian.
It is rural. It's rural. It's rural.
Very rural.
But let's just put it this way: it's really highly unlikely that feminists are going to come out to where we are and do anything. So that's a consideration.
Sure.
But it's also quiet, so there's lots of time to ponder and create content.
That sounds really nice.
Yeah, and like I said, the business, Honey Badger Brigade as a business, is growing out of my space, and I really can't give any more space to administrate another legal entity, which is what Honey Badger House would be as a charity foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're interested in helping us create that space, www.feedthebadger.com. It is the currently running fundraiser. All the other ones are closed, so it's the top one.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it'll help us be able to build our space. It'll also help us be able to create a proper sound studio, because right now I am announcing from my bedroom bookshelf, or I'm talking from my bedroom bookshelf, which is, for a radio station, that's a little bit ridiculous. But so go there and help us out. Help us make the Badger Cave a reality. And there are some rewards if you're interested. Most of them revolve around getting your name on a plaque if you donate, or if the top donor, if we get enough to cover 35% deposit and some renovations and the rewards, the top donor will be able to name a room in the Badger Cave.
Oh my god, now I'm just gonna blow all my money on this. So I can name your room something really ridiculous.
Yeah, I was thinking about the room naming thing.
Do we want to give parameters or something?
No, we should just have fun with it.
Maybe not too much swearing, because it is a farming community that might.
Yeah,
but
not without fainting couches nearby.
Yeah, well, I don't think they need fainting couches. Then you know what? I don't even think.
We should name the rooms after really explicit and exotic sexual activities, like the Cincinnati bow tie and the Arabian goggles room, and you know what I mean, the angry pirate room. I'm sure people come up with better stuff than that, but yes, the crocodile, alligator fuck house, I think, is another one.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna go on that note.
Okay, so let me. Don't run yet. Just literally. Okay, I'm gonna stop the stream now. Thanks, Shoe, for coming on. It's good to talk to more city people like me, because I live in Chicago. We have some of the cleanest water in the country.
Feedthebadger.com.
Feed that motherfucker. And we'll see you guys on the next Fireside Chat, and hopefully we'll see Shoe back again very soon.
Yep. Bye.